Hi folks, Friction RC here. I thought I'd do a follow up to what I started, which was the customization of my Drift RC. And as you can see, I've now gone and taken the doors off. There you go. So if anyone's, I feel like one of those blokes who goes around, what was it, chop shops as it were. Got some spare second-hand doors for an S15 if anyone wants. Are you joking? Not for sale. So anyway, I've done that. I'll talk you through what I did yesterday. So basically I marked everything up where I wanted to cut, and I'm now going to do the next stage, which is obviously lowering this. If I move this out of the way, sorry, again, wheel came off. That's because I'm using my spare wheel, the nut for my other RC, because they're interchangeable. So anyway, so what I want to do is lower it. So I thought I'll start cutting. Now my concern is, do I cut all the way round and literally remove that and then sort of sand it down and then lower it, or do I cut the arms off, you know, cut the two main screens out and then cut the arms off and then drop it down? Doing it all in one go I think might be easier, because I'll have to worry about re-gluing this and redoing that, as it were. My other worry is I went and purchased a cheap, crappy set of tools. Now these are sharp, the actual blades themselves are quite sharp, however it's plastic. This kind of stuff, this is, I don't know if you can see all this, it's really cheap, tacky plastic. So I'm not getting the grip I want, and even the blades, I think they're just sharp pieces of metal. I don't really see them as being proper. They've got branding, or they've got numbers and all that, 5, 6, 7, but it's quite easy to, you know, con that out and just put a stamp on it. So I'm wondering whether these are proper tools or not, just sharpened bits of metal passing off as proper scalps and blades. And I say that because this is quite, I don't know if you guys can see this, I've kind of butchered the shell. Now I've done it here as well. Now I admit that's partly because of me, and it's partly because of the shell itself, but as I was saying previously, this is the cut I made, and then I didn't cut it fully, I sort of, you know, made some dotted lines, perforated it, and then I kind of folded it. And when I do like that, can you see the kind of, you get that really nice clean look here, and then certain bits it's like that, which I know is because of the blades, not because of the shell, as it were. Anyway, this, the whole point of doing it on this shell and not my decent one which I've got, which is an alpha body, is to try and lower this, mess about with this, do what I want on this, and then once I know what I'm doing I can actually, it's kind of like a practice shell for me, a test bed. Anyway, so the next thing to do is to lower this. Now I've also got, I think you guys call it a top chop, we call it a roof chop, same thing. So I don't have a roll cage. One thing I was thinking was to put a roll cage in it, stiffen it up a bit. Not a proper roll cage, just out of straw or something. But then I was thinking, well, if I'm doing this roof chop, I need something in place to kind of stick it. And I don't have any used straws or anything like that I can use. At least I don't think I do. I'll need to check. So what I thought was I'd use these, which is basically cotton buds. So what I can do is glue them in place on one point, as it were. Well, cut it out, glue it in place, and then once I've got it to the desired level, I can then re-glue it inside the shell. And if I do that all round, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, I might be able to get away with it doing it here as well if it's thin enough. But if I do it like that, at least I've got a connection there, and that will hold the new thing in place. So anyway, I've got that. So today what I'll probably do is I will do the roof chop and really butcher this. Let's hope this works. Right, so the roof chop has been done. Quite literally taken everything off. So here, this is a let's put this back on and get a better idea of what I mean. Anyone seen a convertible S15 before? The only issue I've got now is obviously the rear end, which is obviously not doing, but I'm sure I can fashion something. My next problem is lining this up, because if I narrow these arms down, the pillars as it were, let's say I want to get it down to about, if I take it off it might be easier, here we go. Let's move this up and show you. So if I want to take off say about that much, from about there, that will bring the roof chop level down, but as you can see it won't tie up with this. It's a bit short. So what are the options? Either I could chop it and narrow it slightly, but then the wheelbase is affected, the wheelets on the length is affected, because obviously if you chop it in the middle here and squeeze it, then it's going to be affecting all this stuff. Now I've got room to play at the back because there's no rear bumper, which I thought there was. There isn't any rear bumper, so I've got space at the back to play with. So it's not that big a deal. And obviously once I've done that, I've got to then strengthen all this up because it's quite flimsy, so I'm probably going to have to use straws or something to reattach that. Once I've done that, then I can, if I say right, I want to get it down to about here sort of thing, do a roof chop down to about here sort of thing. You see it still doesn't match up. Once I've done that, I can chop this bring it that way, and then I'm going to have to hopefully not, but I might have to redo the rear end to match up with that. Either way, it's going to be a bit of a long job, this. I now understand why people don't really do roof chops or top chops, whatever you call it, in Drift RC, because it is a bit of a mission, especially for angled roofs like this, for the S15s and things like that. I'm guessing on more squarer things it'll be a bit easier because you're just going down, not like this. But anyway, I will keep soldering on, as it were, and I will update this as and when I get a chance, and hopefully edit it so it's all in one kind of smooth vid. Okie doke, well, have fun and stay tuned.